In May 2021, Google will be introducing a major update. In a rare move, Google announced in 2020 what we can actually expect to see in this update. The main takeaway from this announcement being that Core Web Vitals are going to be a key area for the update. We expect this is going to have an impact on website rank, given that Google never announces their plans for updates ahead of time. In this video, we're going to help you by taking a look at how Core Web Vitals are measured to get you better equipped for when the update drops in May 2021. As always, make sure to click the like button if you learned something new and subscribe to see more videos like this. Also, don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. As a quick refresher, Google is going to be adding 3 new factors to their official page experience ranking factors in their new major update that's due to arrive in May 2021. Thanks to their announcement, we now have 3 clear metrics that we can focus on that are going to have a direct impact on the rank of your website. These 3 factors focus on page speed and loading, interactivity, and visual stability. In short, you want to make sure that your pages load fast, respond quickly when someone wants to interact, and the content on the page doesn't shift around as it loads in. Let's look at loading, interactivity, and visual stability in a bit more detail. When talking about Core Web Vitals, these 3 metrics go by slightly more technical names. Loading is largest contentful paint, or LCP. Interactivity is first input delay, or FID, and visual stability is cumulative layout shift, or CLS. The largest contentful paint is the render time of the largest content element within the viewport. So this is how long it takes to get to the point that the largest element you can see on the page has loaded. In order to achieve a good score for largest contentful paint for any given web page, LCP should occur within 2.5 seconds of when the user requests the page. First input delay is the time from when a user first interacts with a page to the time when the browser is actually able to respond to that interaction. These interactions could include things like clicking a link, tapping on a button, or using a custom JavaScript powered control. It's essentially the delay between when you first click on something and the response. To score well for first input delay, pages should have an FID of less than 100 milliseconds. Finally, cumulative layout shift is the sum total of all individual layout shift scores for every unexpected layout shift that occurs during the entire lifespan of the page, or simply put, the page shifting around when it's loading. In order to get a good score for cumulative layout shift, pages should maintain a CLS of less than 0.1. If you want to know more about how these 3 metrics are scored, check out the links in the description below. So we know that Core Web Vitals are going to be important, and we know what scores we need to achieve. But how do we actually measure our website's current performance? You can find out your Core Web Vitals metrics using a range of tools, including Page Speed Insights, Search Console, and Lighthouse. These tools can be a bit overwhelming if you aren't used to using them. So if you want a quick way to check your score, your easiest option is to enter your site's URL into the Page Speed Insights tool and look at the score out of 100 that you get for both mobile and desktop. This is your overall page speed score, which is a good snapshot of how your site performs. To understand the Core Web Vitals specific metrics, look for the little blue flag and the scores for largest contentful paint, first input delay, and cumulative layout shift. The tool will color code your results so you can see if they pass the required scores. The first thing you should do is audit your current page experience and compare your results to those of your competitors. This will give you an idea of how much time you'll need to invest in order to stay ahead of them after this update drops. Remember, you don't need to be the best for everything, just better than your competitors. Once you've done an audit, you'll be able to see where you need to start making changes this year. A lot of areas of Core Web Vitals might be out of your control and require the help of a developer to make improvements, so this is something you'll need to take into account. The good news is that these metrics are easy to test, so you can measure any improvement in your largest contentful paint, first input delay, and cumulative layout shift ahead of Google's ranking signals update.